G'day everyone, I'm Jazza, the art scientist. As you know, I dabble and dive in all sorts of experimental art mediums, but today I thought I would tackle the scientific names of animals and draw these creatures based only on their names. We'll see how close we get to the actual animals. These have all been pre-prepared by my team. I have no idea what any of them are. We can guess together, and let's start off with our first one, the Aegrotocatellus. Aegrotocatellus jaggeri. You know, like the one in your backyard. All right, let's draw the Aegrotocatellus jaggeri. I'm a scientist. I've got to draw what I know is there, and this is agro. It's aggressive. Is this an aggressive creature of the jaguar family? I don't have a lot of practice drawing like big cats. I know little cats have like the little, you know, the little mew mouth, that little, there you go. I feel like we need to channel like the angry face, like the emoji, which is like that one. So the Aegrotocatellus jaggeri, instead of having like this upturned mouth, this one has like the opposite. It's like an M instead of a W. That's how you know it's very angry. I think I've nailed this, the Aegrotocatellus jaggeri. At least the face. I'm gonna allude to the rest of the body, but look, we've all seen a big cat, so I don't need to go crazy there. I'm actually pretty chuffed with this, but not as chuffed as I will be after I add some snappy line work. There you go, bit of line work in there. It really is that easy. You just gotta get it's all on the wrist. Now we need to figure out from the name what the color is. The jaguar is a color. There it is. It's sort of anywhere in that sort of white to black to orange to brown range. You know, jaguar color. We can slap down a base color. I'm just gonna grab a marker. It's basically a concept art piece, and when doing concept art, rough is good if you have the right textures and if it's sort of communicating the concept really clearly. So don't worry so much about keeping inside the lines, it's more about the flavor that we're capturing. Now again, this is rough as hell, but I can use that as a clipping mask and then use my oil brush to add in a little bit of color variation. Okay, so jaguar, agro. It's the jaguar orangey, but instead of black dots, it has red, because red's an angry color. He's basically got steam coming out of his ears. Let's go some bright yellow tigery eyes in there, and last but not least, we've got to get our jaguar-y spots in. But as per the rest of the animal, these are going to be in a nice red hue. Yeah, there he is, the Now, if you're gonna be really picky and you wanna check my work, you can of course Google Aegrotocatellus jaggeri and you get, what? It's like a beetle. What? Jaggeri is not jaguar, it's jagger, like Mick Jagger. Let's move on to the next one. The scientific word for our next animal is Boselaphus tragocamelus. Bose like the boat, like Bose, like audio, like headphones. Laphus, sort of like Lapras, like the Pokemon. Trago is like the Tarago, like the Toyota Tarago, and a camel. All right, let's make this animal come to life with the power of science. Now, obviously anchoring the facial construction to Lapras and a camel, because they're the obvious points of reference here, but the body needs to lean more towards Tarago, but without the doors. This is like the interior of a Tarago on the back of a camel or a Lapras. Now the Boselaphus tragocamelus comes in several versions. There are some 6-seaters, there are some 7-seaters. I'm just going with a 4-seater here. It's a smaller species of this genus. Now you might be wondering where Bose comes in. And no, the camel isn't wearing headphones. It actually has headphone jacks. Nature's figured out. People travel long distances, and well, actually the version before this was just the Laphus tragocamelus. They didn't have an audio port. It was a sponsored upgrade by nature, which is why it's got the Bose logo in its fur. And like Lapras, this creature has a sort of knob on the front of its head. That's not a horn, it's an antenna, so that the Bose system gets better reception. Because, you know, going on long journeys, there's plenty of patchy areas. This is a highly sophisticated creature. And when it comes to color, like the golden Tarago and the golden camel, there is a golden hue to this creature. But like the Lapras, we have a sort of like off-white belly that's actually quite smooth, can travel on land or sea, is the sort of point I'm trying to make there. I don't care what creature this is, mine's better. I love this guy. Look at him. The only difference really, but like I think my creature would have more subtle branding because, you know, at the end of the day, if we want branded promotion on something, you know, you want it to be subtle. Come to think of it, like the promo that I'm about to do for the brushes. That's right, the digital brushes that Alicia and I made, and we also created the Ultimate Digital Painter's Guide. If you want to learn to paint like a pro, whether you're creating concept art or epic final digital paintings, my Ultimate Digital Painters bundle is where you need to go. Both for the guide that's going to teach you all of the intricacies from start to finish of digital painting, and of course for the brushes, 83 incredible brushes, compatible with Photoshop, Procreate, Eucritta, and Clip Studio Paint. It is the only set of brushes to have that many of that quality, supported by that many programs that work so well together. Go check it out, links in the description, and you can get my bundle for an extra 10% using the code JAZZA10, which brings the entire bundled product to a total of 30% off. So go check that out, links in the description, and a thank you to me for promoting myself? I don't know. Thank you to anyone who supports our products. It's a direct support to the studio and to your creative process. But without further ado, let's find the truth, the boring truth of what this Boselaphus Aegrotocatellus is. I wasn't far off. It's pretty close. It's just missing air conditioning and, you know, proper seats. All things considered, we're in the same genus. All right, well, it's heating up. Well, I'm getting good at this. Next cab off the rank is the Brachyanax Trephonus. And we're going back here. This is more prehistoric because like the Brachiosaurus, this is sort of where we're going into the creatures that were ancient, but also in forests filled with bracken, at least beside it in the annexed bracken. Okay, Theles, like thestrals, those horsey things from Harry Potter, right? So we've got a dinosaur horsey thing that's a herbivore. It's Trephones. Tre meaning like 3 ears, like 3 sets of ears is what that means. Think thestral, which is like you get a horse skull. It's like a long neck thestral, but 3 sets of ears. Rather than do cartoony, I think this one lends itself to a little bit more of a painterly style, a little bit more of a naturalistic depiction. So using an assortment of my digital oil paints, I'm going to rough out the silhouette and slowly build up the clipping mask layers inside to build up a little bit of texture and lighting and fill the background with a little bit of scenery. What is this actual creature? Also, side note, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And it's kind of criminal how quickly I can slap together an environment like that. That's all brushes. I didn't put any work into that. Just want to put that out there. All right, the Brachyanax Thelestrophones. Here's a bug. Here's a butterfly. Well, maybe I did draw it. Oh, I tricked you guys. I tricked you. It's not this one. I did actually draw it. It's just back here. Do you see that? See that little bug back there? Bet you didn't see that. Bet you didn't realize that is actually the Brachyanax Thelestrophones. All right, let's move on. Nailed it again. All right, next up we have who names these things? Oh my God. It's a different department. I fight with them all the time. The Eucritta melanoliminatus. As the name implies, this is a little critter. Oh no, it couldn't possibly be, with no limbs. Melon. A melon with no limbs. And netes is sort of like, is from the same word family as like nets. Critter like a bunny, you gotta have the big cheeks. What if we go like wide eyes, little derpy, little side-eyed. We need a pleading sort of expression like love me. Sort of pleading like, you know, please give me limbs or... Oh my God, I feel so silly. No limb nets. It has nets, not limbs. I am so sorry. This is the part of the video I might encourage you to smash that like button or hit subscribe for more, but I know you don't want more of this. And if you do, God help us all. All right, you ready? Let's find out. Please, anything but that, please. It is a lizard. Hooray! I've never felt so joyful to see a lizard. Is it prehistoric? Ancient sea life. Okay, all right, ancient sea life. Well, I have one shot at redemption and oh my God. Let's move on from this as swiftly as possible. All right, our lucky last today is the Osedax mucoflorus. Muco and florus, I mean, come on, that's really easy. Muco is like mucus, florus is like flowers. With a name like Osedax, it's like an ox, like something robust. Why don't we go sort of like oxen inspired? We haven't seen enough horns in these animals. Let's go a nice big horn creature. Let's go like a big wide cow-like snoot. So Muco, this is a very drippy animal from the swamps. Don't you know? So that's the Muco part. As far as the florus part, that's partially to do with, the environment is from. So, we've got the swampy reeds and some swamp flowers, but it actually grows flowers on its back. And that's not to say that the flowers are grown out of its body. It's just it's so furry and has so much mud and gunk that builds up that the seeds sort of take hold within the mud in the fur, and it just happens to become a, breeding ground for different plant life from the swamps. And I'm gonna slap in some line work. With the outlines done, I actually really like the design of this creature. It is obviously still quite animal-y, but a bit new and unique, and I want to lean into that and make something really cool. Especially because aside from the design, I've got a clear atmosphere in my mind for this one. So I set about painting the fur gradienting from a dark, wet look underneath all the way up to a mossy, moist-looking top area where the grass is going to grow. Once the foundational colors are in, it's on to a little bit of a texture, then moving up to a bit of a shading pass with some texture and highlights added, but eventually moving outwards into the environment, which is really going to make the most of this piece. I want to put my Osedax mucoflorus in a really green, murky swamp, but even though I've got a bit of a murky vibe happening here, I want the creature to feel peaceful, like he's happy in his muddy home. After I've done those foreground, background elements, a little bit of fog to tie it all together, it's on to the final detail. A pass of some grass and growth on the back, brow and tail of the creature. And last but not least, onto some sharper highlights to create a little bit of edge highlighting, accentuate the mood, and make him pop out from the background a little bit. I hoped I would redeem myself after that last one. I have to say, I actually think I have. I really like this. I don't know what the Osedax mucoflorus is, but I want to meet this one. He's really cute. But of course, last but not least, let's find out what the Osedax mucoflorus is. It's literally like a mucus flower. Bone worms, eating worms, ew. I'm really happy with this piece. Let's have a quick look back at what else I've made. Not that one. There we go, the Brachyanax thelastrophones. I think that's how I said it. That looks pretty cool, I'm happy with that. And then we warmed up with a few cartoonier ones. This was a really fun exercise. I would like to do this again sometime, and if you would too, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. Maybe suggest a few interesting names that my team can research and make sure they're legit. But this is certainly the sort of one that I can use your input and not know what you're talking about. And someone else can check it and see if we want to use it. So go get commenting down below. And of course, go check out my brushes, link in the description, an extra 10% off if you use my code to get a total of 30% off my bundle. Thank you to anyone who supports the channel in that way, and thank you to you for watching this video. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.